So
Did, did you ever meet Farad Muhammad in your childhood? Or
you like that question, don't you? You like that. You think I'm gonna answer that one? Yes, I think so.
oh, you think so?
I think so. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's what they used to call him. He said that's what they used to call him. So, but he introduced me as a different name.
What name did he introduce himself to you as?
Uh, Imam Muhammad Abdullah.
I'm writing all this
Yeah,
stuff down.
yeah, Imam Muhammad Abdullah.
And what's the interactions in the mansion when he's around Elijah Muhammad?
Beautiful. Just two great people. He introduced him like a foreign person, a guest. He always introduced him as a guest, and that's what everybody thought he was, a guest. But some people kind of figured it out. I mean, you do things, people kind of figure things out. And every time that he would introduce and say that we have angels around us every day, he's like symbolically called him really an angel because it took an angel to open up his eyes to Islam. So that's
Why the name change?
I,
Oh, you don't know?
Me.
You don't know?
You got me. Now that I don't know. I just think he just used that name to be incognito. A lot of foreign people come over here and they change their name, a lot of some of the Mediterranean Muslims, they'll come over here. His name is Muhammad. And they'll say, no, I'm Mike or Mo or Michael or Sam. And they don't always give them the real names. Just like, you ever see that movie, The Untouchables?
Yeah, I ain't seen it in so long.
Costner? Yes, it's a good movie. Matter of fact, when Sean Connery was looking for a shooter, somebody could really shoot well, and join his little group of untouchables, well, he started looking at everybody and he saw one guy, and he asked the guy, he says, "What's your name?" He said, "My name is Anthony something, something, something." He said, "What's your real name before you changed it?" And you know what I mean? So and then he like challenged them, and he made him mad enough to come out and really, he brought the real Italian out of him, right? But people do that. They change their name for different reasons. They cut everything short. Like if your name Muhammad, they'll say, "Oh, my name is Mo, Manny." They won't. It seems like they're ashamed of the name. You should never be ashamed of your name. Elijah Muhammad taught us our name is good as gold, and it tells your history. Like you would say, well, this is Muhammad. Just say his name is Muhammad or Akbar Aziz. And then they would say, this is Muhammad Akbar Aziz Ibn Aziz. So if you say that, that means this is the son of Aziz. Ibn means the son of. They don't use junior. They don't use, seniors and juniors. We learned so much about that. When you say senior and junior, that means you as a junior will never be bigger than your father. You'll never be the senior in your life. So it kind of dethrones and depicts you being a junior. That means you'll never grow better than your father. Never. You'll always be a junior. You'll never succeed over your father, ever. And that's a crutch. That's a slap in the face trying to say, what do you mean I'm not going to be better? No, you're always going to be junior. That's it. So it keeps a man from growing. Keeps a man from growing. Psychologically, it stops your growth. That's why it's not allowed in our religion. We're not here to stop your growth. We're here to expand your growth, to be bigger, to be better. There's nothing wrong with that.
Do the stories line up with him and Farad Muhammad going to Detroit selling silks, and the man that you met in the mansion? Does those stories, because as you got older, did you delve into the history of Farad Muhammad, and did you?
Yes.
Did the stories?
I became very close with him and his family. He kind of adopted me as a granddaughter.
Farad Muhammad?
Yes, he called me. He says, "You're going to be my granddaughter, and I'm going to show you, because you're going to be really outstanding, and you're going to do things that a lot of women don't do. And you need to build. You need to build. You should be a contractor. You need to build something." And I didn't understand what he meant at that time, but when I stayed in school until I graduated, I realized I would like to build a university, Islamic university, a complex, and let it be the master landmark. I've always wanted to create a landmark of the world, and nothing could be better than an Islamic university as a landmark. So I designed one by 1976, and I still have it on my wall, and it's my ultimate plan to have a community of Islam where people can tour the mosque and tour the institution through a bulletproof glass as they're in session, and it's one of my biggest goals.
So did Farad Muhammad live in Chicago? Because he called you his granddaughter, so that means y'all saw each other often now.
Yeah, no, he lived in Oakland, California.
Oakland, okay.
Oakland. He lived on Bush Street. I remember the name of the street was a Bush.
So you've been to his house in Oakland as well?
Oh yeah, I've lived in his house with his wife and his sons, his brother. He used to write me letters. He was a granddaughter. I still have those letters.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Can we see it? Can you read one?
Oh, I'd have to.
Oh, okay. Well, we got time. We got a couple.
They're hidden away. I'd have to bring them out of my storage or something.
Well,
but I still have them.
Well, the next interview, feel free to get all your artifacts, and if you want to read them, you're more than welcome to. You know what I mean? Because these interviews gonna stand the test of time. Because
it will. It is something that I cherish. They're around here somewhere. I don't know if I'll be able to have them then, but I know once I have my thinking thing on and I finally find them, I'll call you.
Oh, thank you. Did Farad Muhammad have multiple wives or just one wife?
No, just one wife.
Okay.
No.
DB?
What was a?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Who's a brother? Oh,
DB's
David.
there. Yeah, go ahead, DB.
DB. DB? What does DB stand for?
Yeah, that brother.
Yeah.
my question was, what made the Honorable Elijah Muhammad so special? Could anybody have taken that position to change the lives of Black folks, forever?
No, it wasn't made for nobody to do it but him. He is. Let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something. This little man, humble. He's a very humble person. This is the most humble. You ever see some of the Chinese and Asian movies, and you will find one of the Asiatic brothers who are leaders, and he's just real humble, and he might be small, but they respect him a lot. He's like that. He gives me I see him as this Oriental. He gives me when I see him, I feel this Oriental meekness, the humbleness. I know this man had a lot of fire in his tongue, but he had a lot of water underneath it because he might have spoke fiery sometimes, but he was still humble. And you couldn't argue with what he said because it was all true. I mean, he told it the way it is, but he did it in a educational way. He walked softly. He used to walk like he would have these businesses, right? I used to work at one of the bakeries. And when he would come into the bakery, he would never let you know he was coming. He would come, he'd have a key and he'd come through the back door and quietly walk up on you. And And you go, wow, you know, he would sneak in on you like that. He was very quiet. You know, he didn't blow no trumpets or nothing. He would just walk up on you out of nowhere. He was a very humble man. I mean, check this out. Now, just say you're playing his record, he's speaking, and you're in the house. In our house, you couldn't move around while he's talking like you just want to listen to him speak. You have to sit and listen. You can't be moving around. That's a hell of respect for somebody to just stop what you're doing and hear him speaking and don't move. And you have no guards looking over us or nothing. It's just something you do automatically. That's how much he was respected. And it wasn't a forced thing. It wasn't a fear thing. It was like, this man is trying to teach us, bring us light to ourselves, to bring us our royalty back, to bring our appreciation back, to bring that you are the Asiatic Black man, you rule this world, and you have done it for many years. And you've totally, you know, the essence of your being here came from the essence that you were from, that you were kings and queens of Africa. You was the kings and queens of Egypt. You was the kings and queens of the Congo. He tells us what is in our history, in our background, the greatest thing that we have ever done. We've been doing it for centuries. And then all of a sudden, they kidnap you from a country, bring you over here on a ship, force you to eat what they give you, and confine you into a hut and make you be a slave for them. That's probably the most shocking thing a Black man had to ever face, to change his language. When the white man brought us over here, they stripped off of everything. The Jewish people was in slavery. They was in a genocide position where the Germans was trying to genocide them, to kill them off of the face of the earth, and they couldn't do it. But they never lost their identity. They never lost their language. They never lost their culture. They never lost what they believe in and they worship. They never lost any of that. But we did. We lost everything. We lost our language. We lost our culture. We lost everything. Now that is from one person. Nobody has done that to any of the races in the world. If you would check with all your history, and I know you have, young man, you have checked the history of Egypt, you have a lot of knowledge of people, and you've seen, what I'm saying is just an echo to you. You know what I'm talking about because you're a historian. And it is so mundane that our people, now that we are not the minorities anymore. We're not the minorities. Yeah. We are not the minorities anymore. I've seen a whole state. When Ali and I went to Florida in the 60s, that whole beach, Miami Beach, was full of Jews everywhere. Businesses everywhere, factories, clothing stores, meat companies, everything. The whole Miami Beach. Now, the whole Miami Beach is run by Cubans, Latin Americans. He's running the show now. But all these Jews gone. They kicked them off over to Boca Raton, Marina Del Rey, Boynton Beach. I mean, who can just take a whole country? People do a lot of strange things in the world. When you you know, you have all these international people coming over here because they did not fight for their freedom in their countries because they would kill them. But we had to fight for our freedom. We had to march. We had to speak out. We had to do all kinds of things, but we did it and it worked. We have our freedom. There's no colored people, white people signs for the bathroom or the swimming pools. We've come a very, very long way. We have really made a difference. And I hate when people say we ain't made a difference. And we have. Literally, we have. We can go to college. We can get degrees. We can be doctors and professors. You know what I saw on TV this morning, Fred? A whole series on George Washington Carver. Woo! That guy. He was incredible. He was smarter than Einstein. This young man was smarter than Einstein. This guy made patents from a peanut and oils and carbon and fuel, things that they use up in the jets and the spaceships. This man created these oils and stuff way back. I mean, who does 300 patents? If a black man come up right now with 300 patents, he'll make Bill Gates look like Popeye. I mean, this man he was a slave and he pulled out trees and on the farm and still became a scientist. This guy was way above scientific revolutions. It's incredible. It's incredible. And it's glorifying for me to honor a man like George Washington Carver, Frederick Douglass. How do you think we got Frederick Douglass? How do you think we got Harriet Tubman? How do you think we got abolitionists? Because while the white man is putting you in slaves, and when he leaves home, the white woman will teach him how to read behind his back. We all put in sacrifice and compassion to our brethren. The thing of the hating white men and hating this, it's his deeds that really did it. Because we got black devils around right now doing evil stuff, and I just never could get to the hating. He never really told us to hate the white man, but we just hated his deeds. We hated his deeds. But the thing of it is, we need to know who we should honor and respect, and that's the human race. Because we all helped each other in a lot of things together. And that's what we should focus on today. And the more kindness, the more brilliance that we become, the more intelligent that we become to work with all people, then that's a good thing. That's where our head should be at right now, is the humanity thing. The Black history is a wonderful, desirable class to learn, because they don't really give a lot of our Black historians the proper respect that they've given us. They have really given us a lot. I mean, and they have paved the way for us. Just like fighters have paved the way for other fighters, like Jack Johnson paved the way for people like Joe Louis, and Joe Louis paved the way like people like Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson paved the way for people like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali has paved the way like Mike Tyson, and for Floyd Weathermaker, whatever his name is, Floyd Mayweather, whatever. You know, I can't get his name. Huh?
And Deontay Wilder.
Did you know Deontay Wilder and I are cousins?
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. I was telling everybody, on my Facebook and everything, and I had pictures, and I told my family and friends, and one of my cousins called me up and said, Kalila, Deontay Wilder's your cousin. I said, how is he my cousin? Well, Oda Mae Boyd and Deontay Wilder something or another married each other, and they became cousins. And he actually named a friend from my father's side of the family who married and became a Wilder. There are Wilders in our family, and I never knew it was Deontay Wilder. A lot of tall men are in our family. But I was just shocked. I didn't know that. Fred, every time you go to a family reunion, you always meet somebody you never met. The families just keep growing and growing. What's your last name?
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne?
Mm-hmm.
Hawthorne, like the American Indian Hawthorns? See, you probably was a chief and didn't even know it. See, your family was a chief.
Yeah, thanks.
What's your last name, the man?
Del Negro.
Del Negro? He got jokes. Okay, he got jokes.
No, that's it. DELNEGRO, Del Negro.
Oh, really? For real?
Yeah.
That was for real?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
I'm sorry, Fred. I wanted to get this. I don't want to lose this right here. How did Master Farad Muhammad get to Oakland?
Oh, now, see, I don't know that part. I just know he was there when I went there. So maybe he was there all the time. I don't know. You have to go from the time I met him, but I never really got into a lot of stuff.
What year did you first meet him before you continue? What year was that? So people can have the timeline.
Okay, the timeline. I've seen him when I was younger, but I think when we really got together is when Warisdeen Muhammad came on board and brought him to the mosque. And then I met him after that. And that was like doing, I would say 75. Man came in 75. I would say around late 70s. Mm-hmm. 78, okay. 70, 76.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And every time I would run into him, then we'd get together, go to dinner or something like that. He asked me to come down to the house in Oakland, and I flew down there and saw his whole family. And that was in the late 70s. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Matter of fact, all the children there and cousins, they were like engineers and doctors. A lot of his families are doctors and engineers. And they're all from Pakistan, Karachi, Pakistan. He told me he studied in Lahore, Islam in Lahore, Pakistan, and his sister, Nazrat Butt, she studied in Lahore as well. So I got to meet a lot of the educators in his family. You have a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to lose DB questions. So about how he got to Oakland.
I don't know how he got to Oakland. Okay. I just knew he was there when he asked me to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How many kids did he have? And what was his ethnicity?
He's Pakistani.
Pakistan.
Yeah, he's from Pakistan.
How many?
A lot of his, you have some family of his that live in India as well. Mm-hmm. But Pakistan is where the majority of his family is from. And I remember there were quite a few children. Maybe I can't remember. It probably be in the letters. Mm-hmm. It's been so long since I've talked about this. Mm-hmm. He had I can't say. I know there was quite a few of them.
Okay.
But there's one wife.
Okay.